How does imposter syndrome develop? Welcome to the School of Self-Worth Live. I'm Sam Osborne, the self-worth guy, and today I'm talking to you about how does imposter syndrome develop. And if you want to remember one thing from this video, it develops from unrealistic expectations. And I'm going to talk about three things now. I'll talk about life changes. I'm going to talk about overthinking or one-sided thinking. And I'm also going to be talking about how we beat ourselves up. So let's go through those three things. How does imposter syndrome develop? Well, we need to look at the expectations we have on ourselves and on the world. The first thing is the imposter syndrome develops when we go through a change or we are approaching a change in our life. It could be getting a new job, changing careers, starting a new business. It could be starting a new relationship. It could be trying to leave a relationship. It could be when you're trying to travel the world for the first time in your life. It could be lots of different things that set off these thoughts in our mind of how things should be and how we should be. A lot of pressure already starts to develop when we go through a change or approach a change. And there is a beautiful way of describing this is approaching a threshold in your life, or perhaps going through a transition. And in the hero's journey of Joseph Campbell, he talks about how in mythology, a hero will approach the point of no return from the ordinary world where they've just been doing business as usual. And then they go through a change where they approach this important point. And it's when they approach this threshold in your life, or you approach this threshold. And so you start to have all of these thoughts about how it's going to be. And that can be the first place where imposter syndrome develops. The second thing that helps, or I don't know if it's helping, but the second way that imposter syndrome develops is when we start to overthink, or when we start to have one-sided thinking specifically. So this is when we start to see all of, say, our negative parts, our weaknesses, and we amplify them. And we focus on the one things, or we focus on what could go wrong, or we start to think in terms of, I can't make any mistakes, or everything has to be perfect. And we start to put more pressure on ourselves. And imposter syndrome has a field day when you start to think one-sided thinking. This is unrealistic expectations coming in. And the third thing is that we start to beat ourselves up. This is really where imposter syndrome goes, yes, I'm going to have a field day here with this person. And you start to beat yourself up. You start telling yourself that you're not good enough, that other people are better than you. You get perhaps too sensitive to the remarks and comments from other people that could actually be compliments in disguise, but we can often interpret them as criticism, and that people don't like us, or that we are no good. And we start to go round and round in our head and start to think, I'm an imposter, and why am I even trying to do this? And who am I to try and step out of my comfort zone? So that is how imposter syndrome develops. If you've liked this video, I've got a free gift for you. It's called Crush Imposter Syndrome Forever, the starter kit for bulletproof confidence. And you can get in the links above and in Facebook and LinkedIn, or in the description below if you're watching on YouTube or listening on SoundCloud. And I invite you to join the School of Self-Worth Facebook group. Come and say hi, ask your questions. And if you remember one thing from this video, when it comes to how does imposter syndrome develop, it develops from unrealistic expectations. All right, everybody, I hope you have a great day. I will see you tomorrow.